Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Tuesday, July 5th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I let my feelings show me where I have some evolution, revolution work to do. All right, so we are going to be in that evolution, revolution energy today. There's definitely some triggering energy when that comes up. And really today is the day we're going to be feeling the Mars and Mercury shifts. We have Mars moving out of Aries, brain fart right there. Mars moving out of Aries and Mercury moving out of Gemini and into Cancer. We're also going to actually have the moon shifting today. The moon is going to shift out of Virgo into Libra. So potentially at some point today we have three energies at 0 degrees. 0 can be kind of wonky, so just keep that in mind if you're feeling a little off. You may already be feeling that, even though none of these planets have technically shifted yet. I started feeling that this afternoon. I was like, oh, the Mars shift. I have no energy. I don't want to do anything. So just be aware of that if that pops up for you. That being said, I want to dig into these planetary transits. So Mars moving into Taurus. I'm like, where is it? Mars moving into Taurus. Mars is the planet of action, passion, aggression. And Taurus, while Taurus can be very passionate about things, Taurus is generally, unless you push them, not the most aggressive. That being said, Taurus, you may find yourself actually being a little bit more aggressive in the world with Mars in your sign. But the rest of us may find ourselves being a little bit more as we move through this transit, which will be until August 20th when it shifts into the sign of Gemini. Mars and Taurus. What I think we'll find ourselves utilizing this energy for is being productive. I think one of the mottos of Taurus is slow and steady wins the race. And Mars is not necessarily known for the slow and steady. And yet with Mars and Taurus, we may find ourselves adjusting to that pace. That being said, I do think that there's a lot we can find ourselves producing over this next, I guess it's about like a month and a half, right? Or almost 2 months. We'll say a month and a half about. So definitely that. What we might find ourselves is driven more to the passion side of Mars energy. Taurus loves sensuality, whether it's food, whether it's touch, whether it's smells, whether it's pretty things. We may find more of a drive within ourselves for the pretty or for whatever we are passionate about. So do watch for that, because Mars can have insatiable desire. And so we could find ourselves with Mars in Taurus going a little bit overboard. I've been reading some very interesting things about dopamine and how dopamine basically serves itself and like makes you want more. And I would say Mars in Taurus can definitely spike that energy. So be aware of that over the next month and a half. Now, especially while we have Mercury in the sign of Cancer, because Mercury's our mind. Cancer definitely loves its creature comforts. So we have the drive for maybe more sensuality, the drive for more pleasure with Mars and Taurus. And then Cancer's like, yeah, give me those creature comforts. Like, bring on the food, right? So their mind, Mercury energy, is working hand in hand with this. This definitely may feel like a slowdown compared to Mercury in Gemini and Mars in Aries, but I think we all need some time to cool down, and I have to show you at the top of my cards, I have the slowing down card. Now I will mention, with Mercury in Cancer, watch for your mind and your emotions colliding, telling lots of stories. You may find yourself more emotional, more roller coastery, depending on the stories that you're telling. But this is a time where you can be very cognizant of your feelings, very present with your feelings, in regards to your thoughts and tending to yourself. This is going to be a really fast transit. It's going to be about 2 weeks. It's shifting, I think is it the 19th that it shifts? I think it's the 19th of July that it moves into Leo. So very fast transit, but keep your awareness around the stories that you're telling and what this is doing to your emotions, because your mind and your emotions really can feed into each other. So the third shift that we're going to have today is the moon. The moon moving out of Virgo, grounded Virgo, into airy Libra. So we're bringing some air in. Libra wanting balance. Libra reminding us to find our center. That shift is going to happen at 3:25 p.m. Pacific time. In case I didn't mention the times for the other shifts, the other planetary shifts, that's actually both happening in the 11 p.m. Pacific time hour on Monday. So that's actually happening a few hours from this recording. So if you're watching this on Tuesday, it has already happened. So the shift, the lunar shift at 3:25 p.m. It's going to be fairly quiet after that. There will be a square with Mercury, which newly moving into Cancer. So again, we may find ourselves coming out of balance due to any stories we're telling, where our feelings are feeding the stories, or our mind is feeding stories into our feelings and pushing us off balance. And all of this is meant to show us where we can be doing this evolution, revolution work. Where are we being called to shift, to liberate ourselves? Maybe it's an old story, maybe it's something that's not serving you anymore, and you feel it, and you're like, I'm ready to be done with this. So awareness around that will be very powerful. Before the moon shifts, it will be in Virgo, like I mentioned, and it will connect to Neptune. Maybe some interesting dreams coming through. Joe and I have both been having really interesting dreams, lots of processing happening. He's like, that's an understatement. Moon in Virgo will also connect to Pluto. Again, there may be some challenges in that energy that do come up. Between the moon in Virgo and Pluto in Capricorn, you may find whether the critical energy is outside yourself or coming from within. Just be aware that there may be some of that. Again, slow down and notice, where is this asking you to show up for yourself? Speaking of, I have the Master card for these energies. So even though we don't really have anything, as far as I see, I'm looking at the chart right now, I don't see anything that's hanging out at a master number, but these final degrees and these 0 degrees, they do bring levels of transformation. So be aware where you are being asked, again, to level up, to go back to the energy mantra. I have the burden card. Watch your mind. Your mind is going to be playing a really big role. The thing is, with your mind, it can feel like the burden, or it can be a source of beautiful divine creation. It's really up to you how you utilize it. And that's, again, where that Master card comes in. So it's good to slow down and check your mind. I have the King of Swords. 2 King cards in here. 2 King cards and a Master. This is some powerful energy. The King of Swords, the control card. And that's the thing. I don't love the word control, but being mindful of your mind, being mindful of your stories, bring awareness there, and you will see things transform for you. I'm going to leave that here for today. You can book a reading. Email me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.